What's up, everyone? This is Yuri, aka Russian Prototype. Today is Thursday, September 2nd, and we are live. Tonight is another great night. Had a little echo going. Tonight is another great night because tonight we're going to talk about what effect extra weight has on affection. Woo! What a topic. What a topic. Indeed, a complicated one. So what we're going to do tonight, we're going to have hopefully a couple of guests that will be joining us. Um, we're going to talk about their experiences. We're going to talk about their take on it. Then we're probably going to dive maybe in one DM. We're going to look at a couple of things that I want to be able to highlight to you. Talk about individual choices versus a health condition. And I want to be able to give you some resources that I believe will be helpful to you to determine more objective way to look at body weight. Okay, so it's a jam-packed show tonight. A lot of things to get to. So stay tuned because it's going to be a good one. I have a feeling it's going to be a good one. I'm going to give our guests few moments to join. Okay, while we're waiting on them, we're going to do a couple of things. First of all, of course, we're going to say hello to our live audience. They're here right now. Hello, Heather. How are you tonight? Great to see you. Thanks for being here. We have Jamie. What's up, Jamie? Just send you a message on Instagram regarding Russian food. Jamie is quite a cook. It's always great to see your recipes online. Brianna, how are you today? How are things in Brazil? Thanks for hanging out. And Becky is here as well. Hello, how are you? How's life in Texas, I believe, right? It's either Texas or Georgia. I seem to confuse two of them, but I believe you in Texas. Correct me if I'm wrong. So, hello. Um, I guess we can start out with a little insert from the article. This website is healthywomen.org. So, I want to pull it up really quickly. I'm going to share my screen here. All right. So this article right here is written by this JC May Estrada, who is working in a bariatric clinic, right? And so this kind of stood out to me. She talked about the link between self-confidence and intimacy. She said, I work in the bariatric clinic, so I see a lot of people transition from being affected by severe obesity or obesity to reaching a healthier, more active weight. One area of life I tell people to think about before surgery is how their relationships will be affected by a dramatic weight loss. Many people give me a blank stare because they haven't thought about that connection. And while there are a lot of overweight people who are in healthy relationships, some realize that they may have settled. They felt no one else would ever love them or want them. So they chose to be with the one person they thought would. Maybe they chose to stay in an abusive relationship because they didn't feel they deserved better. Some love the person they are with, but wonder how their partner could love them back on the same level or find them attractive due to their weight. These relationships lack a deeper level of intimacy, the mutual feeling of transparency, where you can be yourself and be comfortable in your own skin. This stems from a lack of self-confidence. Self-confidence is huge, right? When you think about self-confidence, it's a big, big thing when it comes to body image and being overweight. And I think a part of our conversation, at least tonight, is going to deal with that. Let's see who else we have. Looks like Estrella is in the house. Hello, how are you today? Thanks for being here. Happy to see you. It is Georgia. Okay, Becky, it's Georgia. I gotta get it in my head. Hopefully, you're not a Bulldog fan. Are you a Georgia Bulldog fan? Hopefully not, because if you are, then we are rivals. Um, looks like we have Cheyenne in the house. She said, "Well, before I get to your comments, actually, the first guest is here, so let me go ahead and bring her on." Um, and then we will get to your comments as well. Okay. So while we have a conversation with the live guest, be sure to comment. Be sure to maybe share your thoughts on what we're going to discuss. If you have some examples, please make sure to engage with us and leave your comments. Okay, in the comment section, and let us know what goes through your mind. Okay. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and bring her on. Hello, Kaya. How are you today?
Good evening, beautiful people.
You hear me?
I can.
Hold on. I have this crazy feedback. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Hold on. Oh my God, this is bad. One moment. Hold on. Give me a second. I'm getting this crazy echo, and I don't know why I'm getting the crazy echo. I don't think I should be. Okay, let's try it again. Say something. Hello?
Hi, Yuri.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Hello? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I think we're having some technical difficulties. I'm so sorry. That's why I usually like to uh, do the tests beforehand, but sometimes it does not work. So I just want to make sure that everything's set up accordingly over here. Woo! Goodness gracious. All right, Kai, say something again.
Hi.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I think she's trying to give me a comment. Okay, you can hear me. I cannot hear you. So I have a problem on my end. Okay, I am so confused right now, guys. It's never happened before. Okay, can you say something again?
I really hope this works.
I cannot hear you. This is terrible. This is terrible. Because every time I turn on the sound, I hear the echo. S- Oh, I know why. Hold on. I'm an idiot. I think I have myself. I'm an idiot. I had another window open. All right, let's try this again. Wow, prototypes, you're super patient, sir. Thank you for not leaving. Hold on one more time. Kai, say something again.
Can you hear me this time?
I can't. I'm so sorry. I'm an idiot. I had myself open in another window the whole time and I did not know that. Oh my God. All right. Well, anyway, I guess better late than never, right? So apologies about that. How are you tonight?
I'm wonderful. It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon on Saturday here.
1 o'clock
Friday.
in the afternoon.
Friday.
Okay. Okay. So you are way ahead of us. This is like, I guess, 12 plus 4, 16 hours ahead of us, I guess.
Yeah, that's right. 16.
Wow. That is something. Um, well, let's just jump right in. I think I've wasted enough time. So, what are your thoughts? And this is, by the way, this is a casual conversation. So by no means we need to, however, whatever you want to share and however you want to approach this. Wasn't exactly sure if you want to talk about your own experiences, or if you just want to talk about it, these things as a concept. So what's on your mind?
I my first reaction when you said the topic was very strong because there are so many people out there that judge based on weight. In society, we have this real strong image that everyone has to be perfect and beautiful. And obviously, weight goes along with that. And I was thinking about one of my colleagues who was absolutely skinny, beautiful. She ate carrots every day. She was miserable. She looked great, but she was very, very unhappy.
Mm-hmm.
And that got me thinking about different people and that I've had in my past and whether their weight has actually been a consideration. And I think for the majority, it isn't. But if you're talking extremes, then yes, that does have a bearing on it.
Yeah. How is it as far as, do you feel like it's different where you live from the rest of the world?
Here in New Zealand, we are so bombarded with American culture. Our majority of our TV programs are American based. Everyone looks up to everyone in America. So we have the influence very strongly. So naturally, everyone wants to be looking like Kim Kardashian. If all the guys want to be rappers, like Kanye West, um, or singers. So yeah, it's pretty strong here.
Okay. As far as this is a side note, but as far as food in New Zealand, I imagine it. Maybe I have a wrong perception. I don't know, but I imagine it being like a healthier country. I imagine that your food is fresher. You have like good quality, better quality meat, good quality water over there, and therefore it makes me feel like people are, I guess, live a little bit healthier life there. Is that at all accurate, or do you feel like it's not?
I do think that we have access to some amazing things. We have farmers markets. You can go and buy fresh fruit and vegetables. You can take a walk in the country air. I think it's what you choose. So a lot of people can't cope. We have a problem with alcoholism. We have other people who because they can't cope with their emotions.
Hmm.
In New Zealand, we have very much the number eight wire mentality. So men are suck it up. They don't cry. So they express their unhappiness in other ways. Having said that, I think if you've got a positive mindset, everything is there to live an extraordinarily beautiful life. I have a lake 20 minutes away from me. It's got a 5K walk around it. It is so amazing there. It's beautiful. But every single person that you pass is happy. They'll all say hello to you. Um, it's those kind of lifestyles just encourage you to keep going back for more.
So I was curious also about your any personal experiences that you've had, if you're willing to share, that you can speak to. I guess, is there, is there something that you can think of in your past that you would like to talk about pertaining to this topic?
I've actually got two. The first one is a guy that I dated back when I was in my 20s. He, from the beginning, was very much into wanting to go to his place and watch a movie and just relax. And at first, that's nice, cuddling on the couch with someone and being all lovey dovey cozy. But that's what he wanted permanently.
Hmm.
He didn't want to go out and do things. So I've become very aware of how I set my expectations. If someone asks me out for dinner, I will go to dinner, but they might say, "Hey, do you want dessert?" And I'll be like, "Hey, how about instead of that, we go for a walk down the street and just have a chat? I'd like to spend more time with you." And that way you're setting the expectation that you're not just going to sit there and your life is not going to revolve around food, but that you actually like doing things in a fun and genuine way.
Okay. um what is your take what is your take on it? Like when you think about this, do you think that is that like one or the other? Is it black or white? Do people have are people mostly in control of their own weight, or do you think there's outside um consequences or factors that really influence how people's appearance?
I think that weight in particular is not a reflection of who that person is and where they're at in life. So I have had the weight of my father's slow deterioration over the past few years. I've had to be the strong one that's held together my entire family, my extended family. I'm a single mum. I have a huge workload. So for me, prioritizing my health hasn't been a major.
Hmm.
My father passed away in April. I spent 3 months supporting my mother and my daughter through the experience. And now I'm at the point where I'm walking every day and eating healthy. If someone looked at me right now, they potentially might not see someone that I don't look like Kim Kardashian. But give me a couple of months and I will. So, basing an attraction or not on one physical thing like my weight makes no sense to me. It's the entire package of who I am and where I'm going that I think should be more. Having said that, I'm 5'6", so a 6'6" guy or a 4'11" guy, would I judge them for that? I potentially would have issues with that. So I can't judge people for judging me over my weight or my physical appearance in any way. Um, I just like people that very quickly vet themselves out of who I might be willing to have in my life. And if someone's superficial, it's great because they leave very quickly.
Yeah. Well, definitely. Listen, condolences to you and your entire family. It's so hard to lose a loved one. And you brought up a point that I think a lot of times people probably don't think about, or it's hard for people to understand. When you put yourself or put your family rather, you know, i- before your own needs, and some of the things you end up being on the back burner, so to speak. um it's it shows that, for one thing, you're making a priority, your family becomes priority. And even though your health sometimes maybe taking a back seat, I think a lot of people would agree that that's the right thing to do. It's not an easy thing to do, it's a personal sacrifice. um so I mean, listen, I can certainly see how this personal kind of health becoming less important. So it's a very valuable point, I think, for people to realize. I guess it's just a reminder that we really never know what person is going through. So judging somebody by their book by its cover, it's not a right thing to do.
Yeah, I certainly find that the beautiful people who are extremely into the gym, they are generally less um, loving and supportive because they're so hard with themselves. In general, they are more likely to give you the hard talk. Whereas if you're really, really sick, you might get a lot more support from someone who doesn't meet the ideal physical standard because they're more forgiving.
Yeah, they've been through it. Like, a lot of them understand the grind. They understand what it takes you know to lose weight or to get in shape.
Yeah.
And go ahead. Yeah.
I think it comes back to what are your expectations? What are you looking for? If you're very clear on what you're looking for and affection, you can learn to care about people despite your first impressions of them. And I think that's amazing. And I would rather have someone who would hold my hair back from my face when I was throwing up at 2 in the morning than someone who was, there for me in the good times. I need someone there for me in the bad times too. And that
Abs-
includes when I'm not at my best.
Yeah, yeah. I like your accent, by the way. It's cool. It sounds so different. It's so interesting. Um, do you think there's a difference how men approach looking at women who have a little bit extra weight versus how women look at men who have a little bit extra weight?
Men are visual creatures. So, yes, they are going to judge you a lot more based on your looks. So, you have a very cheeky smile and it's very enchanting. So, if you smiled when you were standing there, it actually doesn't matter what's happening below your neck because that captures the attention. So, women do look at things in a different light. A guy might be looking at boobs and ass because that's what they've been taught to look at. I'm looking for your personality because I want to know who that person is before they even come and speak to me.
Yeah, very interesting stuff. You saying you're not really paying attention too much below the neck.
As I said before, it's the extremes. If someone is super skinny, like, very weedy, um, that will make me pause. If someone is sitting there at, I don't know, 250, 300 pounds, that is
Right.
also going to make me take a
Right.
pause, a beat. So I'm not saying that we discount it. We just don't put as much importance on the physical body because there are things to love on any guy. My personal favorite is the inner arm on the bicep. Just below the bicep, there is a ridge through there. Now, an average guy still has that ridge. A super guy that works out at the gym every 5 seconds also has that ridge. So for me, it doesn't matter which one they are. I just love that ridge.
Are you? What is the word that you saying? Reg?
Ridge,
Reach, like RICH?
RIDGE.
RIDK. Okay. Um, that's so interesting. That's so interesting because that's like you went very specific point, right? Uh, on the body. So yeah, it's interesting. Uh, so any conversation? Were there any conversation that you've had with a guy that were kind of straightforward about that before, or a guy that maybe said something later, made a remark about this before, to where it was obvious, um it was about the appearance?
I don't want to get in trouble for saying what I probably want to say.
Oh, get in trouble, who cares?
Look, I'm large, well endowed, shall we say. So I've always been judged on my chest area. And so I'm very aware of what guys do and the things they say because of that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but see, what they say, and if they're looking me in the eyes or looking me in the chest, that tells me who they are. And that's what I want to know. The guys that can't tear their eyes away, I'm not interested. They've just weeded themselves out of my list.
Okay, if they're looking at your body, the other words, right? Somewhere
Yeah,
besides keeping your eye contact with you.
yeah, because
Okay.
I'm more than just my body.
So do you think that there could be guys who are just genuinely could be good guys, who just, I guess, you know um I don't want to say develop a habit, but who just um really like to look at the body, for the lack of the better word? um is it a deal breaker no matter what for you, I guess I'm asking?
No, because if a guy can't help himself and then he gets embarrassed over it, I mean, that is so sweet. If a guy is leering and making sexual jokes and you can see very quickly that that's the only thing they care about, So it doesn't matter that they do it, it's what's behind it. I love it when guys get tongue tied and don't know what to say.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's so adorable.
So if it was a choice between like a confident man and somebody who was super shy, you go for a super shy guy?
That's a really hard one to answer because I want a guy to take the lead. But a lot of guys are nervous at the beginning. So I will forgive them for that instantly. Like it's not a problem. I don't mind if guys get nervous. In fact, if they get nervous, that means they're intimidated. That means they actually care, so, which I think is sweet. But I want them to lead the date. I want them to be, yeah, I want them to lead.
That is
So they
so
kind
interesting.
of need
So I'm
both.
sorry to interrupt, but that's so interesting that you said if they are nervous, that means that they care.
They care what I think.
Okay.
They're trying to make a good impression.
Okay.
Some of the sweetest guys I've ever met have been complete and utter nerds who don't know how to talk to girls. And they're just so cute.
Gotcha. Gotcha. But no, but so you said that you want them to lead as well. And so have you seen one, like both qualities in the one man, somebody who's been very sweet, shy, but yet same person who could really be a good leader?
Yes, yes, I have.
Okay.
Because I believe that when you're with someone, you highlight their good qualities. I don't sit there and say, I don't like the way you do that. I will always support and highlight. And what you highlight and focus on is what people give you more of.
Hmm. Interesting. That's very interesting.
And let's be honest, if there wasn't something amazing about that person, you wouldn't be with them in the first place.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That makes me really curious how the personality traits of man in New Zealand and how they behave versus man in the United States. Have you had a chance to visit United States?
So I was in Hawaii for 3 months and I got to
Okay.
know a few guys there. I personally, I'm not fond of New Zealand guys.
Okay.
Um, that's probably limiting my options here. Um, there are differences between them. Here, everyone tries to be macho, and in doing so, they, I don't know, they get the confidence thing wrong.
That you said they have confidence all wrong.
Yeah,
Okay.
they think that by acting tough, by acting like a man and telling his woman what to do, that equates being a guy.
Okay. Interesting.
I prefer a quiet strength.
Cool. Yeah, I think we kind of like, yeah, it's so interesting to know, to kind of ask the questions about different cultures in different countries, because I think I might have mentioned to you in whether in direct communication or in the previous live streams that New Zealand is really high on my list of places to visit. There's something magical about New Zealand.
Yes, there
So
is.
so just talking about the country, talking about people, talk about how people interact is really really interesting topics to me. But jumping back to effects that extra weight has on affection, um, what else would you like to add? I mean, I guess I'm wondering how much of it, how much do you think accountability plays a role in how physical appearance, um, or what kind of physical appearance we have as people? What's your take on that? Do you think it's pretty much completely up to us? Besides, obviously, there are situations that could happen, like you describe your own personal situation. Obviously those things would be outliers, But besides these outliers, do you feel like it's mostly somebody else's personal responsibility? Should it be a part of a relationship, striving to get the optimal body?
I would never pressure someone to have the optimal body. It wouldn't have any bearing on how I felt about them. That would be their own personal choice, and I would fully support it if that's what they wanted to do. I don't think that it would change my sexual attraction to a person, whether they were carrying an extra amount of weight. Um, Obviously, there are health things that you need to consider, but generally, if you're talking average people, that's not really a consideration.
um as far as the health considerations, at what point do you think you would start having conversation with your significant other concerning about health? Is there, how would you gauge that? Is that based on the look? Is it based on how they feel? How do you even bring up this conversation? I guess that's a better question. How would you approach that conversation with your significant other?
I I don't see that it would ever actually get to that point because you should be able to talk freely. If you're supporting someone and being positive with them, and you're crafting a life together that involves things like physical activity and great food, um, I don't see how it's actually going to get to a point that's problematic.
Hmm. Interesting. Very interesting. Really cool. Is there anything else you want to add on this topic? I also don't want to, I want to be respectful of your time. Is there anything else that you feel like we haven't discussed that's really important to voice?
No, I'm I'm good. I'm obviously you've got other people who are coming on. I've just been watching some comments go through and they're amazing. So I'd love to go and read up on those. And I'd just like to say thank you very much for this opportunity. I hope some people got something out of what I had to say.
I think so. I think so. I think you brought up definitely a couple strong points. My takeaway there, it's definitely helps to to think that it's a delicate thing, right? We don't know what other person is going through and what they've been up to lately, right? What kind of circumstances they have. So I think when we come from a standpoint, from a place of asking questions and not playing games. I think with man, you mentioned it. I think with man, it will be a little bit different because men approach women, at least at first, largely based on appearance, right? So I think for men, if there's no physical connection that they feel, I guess one thing that I would say, um, women would appreciate if they wouldn't even, initiate something that they are not interested in, right? But secondly, if they do initiate, it's because if they see something in that person and they're interested in that person other than physical appearance, right? And they want to pursue this, I think then be patient and ask questions and try to get to know the other person, right? So they can really understand like what actually other person is going through. I think those things kind of important.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. It's maybe not where the person's been, but it's where they're going. And do you want to go there with them?
Yeah. Yeah, because it's it's one of those things to where both both genders could be um cruel, cruel in the way that they can point fingers and they can say, oh, look at this fat person or whatever. And that is very inconsiderate, and that's those type of comments, they will hurt people, right? And I think it's important for people to to understand how it can make somebody else's feel. right? Um, it's about, I think it's more about education. It's not about, making somebody else's feel bad for their appearance. It's about education. It's about being honest with yourself. If you want to talk to a person, you don't have to make other person feel bad for the fact that they appear a certain way. And sometimes people do that, and I think that's where it gets. Um, it's it's not a good thing, Could be quite ugly to see something like that. You still there?
Yes, but my connection started playing up. Sorry.
Oh, okay, okay. Well, listen, Kai, thank you so much for joining. It was a blast chatting with you. Hopefully, it's not a last time. I appreciate you coming on and sharing some of your personal, um, stories and your take on it and your wisdom with us. Have a wonderful day. Okay,
Thank you. Bye.
you're welcome. Have a good one. So fun. It's so fun to connect with the prototype family. It's never gets old, and it's so surreal to speak with someone from New Zealand. I mean, like, wow, it's so cool. We're international. The reach continues to be wider and wider and wider. Um, I've been highlighting your comments as we were going, so thank you so much for engaging with us and with our conversation. Um, it's so, what's really interesting is that sometimes you might be coming into this conversation with certain thoughts, right? And then you just hear somebody talk about their personal experiences, and it makes you feel like, I really haven't thought about it from that perspective. I haven't really considered some of the things that this other person said, right? And yeah, I think that's why it's important to interact. I think that's why it's important to listen sometimes, than just talk, because it's not necessarily about changing your opinion, but it's about seeing the other side, taking some of these other experiences into consideration. um the next guest, I think she DM'd me and said she had a long day. I'm not sure if that means she's not joining, or let me text her back, and we'll see if she can still jump in, um and talk about what she experienced in this particular area. But in the meantime, we can actually dive into a DM of another person from the community, and let me show it to you. Let me show it to you. And I apologize for the technical difficulties in the beginning. That was rough. That was super rough. But hey, sometimes it's just about sticking through it, sticking through it. So I'm going to show you screenshots from, hold on, I think our other guest is here. Perfect, 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 perfect. So before we go into DMs, we're going to go ahead and have conversation with Elvia. So let me bring her on.
You hear me?
Hi, Elvia. How are you?
Hi, nice to meet you.
Nice to
I'm
meet you
doing
too.
good, thank you. Sorry, I came a little late. My meeting went over a little bit more than I thought.
No problem. I appreciate you making the time. Thanks for being here. So, obviously, very kind of a controversial topic
Mhm.
and a very personal topic for so many
Yes.
individuals. I think so many people had individual experiences with,
Mhm.
with this, and I'm just curious to hear your thoughts on it. Again, this
Mhm.
is completely conversational, so you don't have to say something you don't want to say. So, uh,
Yeah.
as far as that goes, what are your thoughts on the topic?
So I've been myself. I've experienced it both ways, where I've been overweight and ghosted because of my weight on the first after the first date. Of course, I found out because I met the guy on online, and then we went out to eat. and then I never heard back from him. And so I did a second account, fake account, and I spoke to the guy, and he said, "Well, yeah, I met someone else before, and but I didn't like her because she was overweight, and that person was me, obviously." So, and that broke my heart. This was like 10 years ago, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, I mean, I was overweight, and I really needed to work on that. So I've worked on that. I fluctuate up and down, but I guess that's life. That's just life with women and in general.
Mm-hmm.
Mm, and um, and then I've also dated overweight men. At first, I didn't think I would like it, but then I was in a relationship with a guy who's overweight. Last time I saw him, I didn't. I just accidentally saw him. He slimmed a little, but I felt like at the beginning I didn't think I was going to like date someone big, but it was actually pretty good because there's always food involved. And so
You
I
said it was food always.
there was always food involved.
That's
And
great.
so I love that. So that was very good. That was a good experience, to me at least. I guess because of um, my background, me being a foodie.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
How he was as a person? Like, did he meet all your expectations as a person?
Yeah, absolutely. He's a very nice person. I'm no longer with him, but he's a very genuine, good person. The weight issue was just like nothing, it had nothing to do with who he was.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like two completely opposite experiences.
Yeah, I had both experiences where I was dumped because I was fat, and then I lost weight, and then I met this guy, and I thought, oh, I don't know. But then I looked more into like who he was, the way that he treated me, and then also our conversations were more than just food. Also, it was a little bit more about like the things that he likes to do. He likes to volunteer a lot. He's a very good guy.
Yeah, so you had some things in common with the second guy who was overweight.
Yes, yeah. Versus the first one, I think the first one he just had too many personal issues. Maybe like he wanted someone, I don't know, like a fantasy. I guess I don't know if I could say that because not. I feel like some men think that they deserve more. Um, like they deserve a full 10, and they're not a full 10 themselves. That's how I think. But that's how what I've experienced too.
Okay. Okay.
Hmm.
Um so when you were dating the guy, the second guy, the
Hmm.
overweight guy,
Hmm.
um and again, please, if you don't want to share it, you don't have to, but I'm curious to know, was there any situation, or did you ever feel like, man, this guy not taking care of himself, he could be better, I could do better, like, did any of those things cross your mind?
Hmm. He actually took the initiative of working out and changing his diet. He lost about 20 pounds when
Hmm.
we were together. And then that relationship ended like 3 years ago. And then I accidentally saw him at the mall, and he lost some weight. He's not slim, but he lost weight. And it seems like he kept working out after.
Okay.
Hmm.
So he
But
didn't
I
go ahead.
never pushed him to do anything either. I just like I complimented him. when I started noticing that he was
Hmm.
slimming down.
Got you. Nice. That's good. That's good.
Mhm.
Um, did you feel like it at any time um like made an impact on the inability to travel somewhere, or like created some limitations physically speaking, you know?
No, no, because he's actually he has a Challenger, so he has a big car, and he's like the car. If we ever travel, it was in his car. So, or he had a Challenger. I don't know if he still has it. So, um, no, no, and no. I think um, he's introverted, so I think that's what I like about him. He's because I'm more extroverted. Like I like to
Mm-hmm.
talk to people and do more activities where he's more quiet. So that's why I think the attraction was there. And then he had that car too, so it was fun.
Nice. Very nice. Um, what do you think? I mean, from your perspective, why do you think people end up with extra weight?
I can tell you from experience that a lot of the times for me is it's stress. So I completed my master's program in 2019, and oof, that's I gained so much weight from that program. It's just so it was so stressful to manage my stress at the time. I didn't know how, and I did gain up a lot, and then well, that made me very depressed too because
Mm-hmm.
it's I went from one size to another, and then at least for me it was stress. And so if I think about the guy that I used to date, he's also working in a very stressful environment, and yeah, and because of his culture, because of his background, I think his mom feeds him a lot too. Yeah, he's he's Jewish, so I think Jewish kids or Jewish men eat a lot. I don't know. They get
Well,
fed
yeah,
by their moms a lot,
yeah.
so I think that's why the weight. But yeah, at least from my experiences was also the lack of knowledge. I didn't know about. So now I do the keto diet. Um, I didn't know about how the combination of foods impact your body on a macro level, and so I've been educating myself on that.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. Very interesting stuff. Interesting. I mean, the point that you brought up about being in grad school and being stressed out. Um, where how do people, like, if you had to give an advice, let's say you had to give an advice to women in particular,
Mm.
um, how to avoid gaining, and we get again, I'm not talking about, you know, extreme circumstances. Kaya was talking about like circumstance where, you know, there was a death in the family and she had to take care of someone else.
Yeah.
And so there's going to be circumstances like that where it's just super difficult, you know, super
Hmm.
tough. But I think if aside from those type of circumstances, right, um, what advice would you give to women, like how to make sure that they can not just be optimal weight for another man, how can they be optimal weight for themselves, for their health, for feeling confident, and for just being healthy, you know?
Yeah, that's a very good question. What I've done, and it worked for me during the pandemic last year, 2020, was I stayed committed with my keto diet and also intermittent fasting. and I was studying at the same time because I was doing certificates last year so that to get ahead in my career. And I noticed that fasting really did help because I would give myself like a time when I wouldn't eat, and I would give myself a window. And then I also got like I would get a lot. I would get into a lot of YouTube channels. Can I mention some of them? Like Dr. Berg. He's a doctor and talks about uh, intermittent fasting and keto, and he talks about the science behind it. And so just learning about that helped me, um, keep the weight down during the pandemic. And then also I read that sleep, rest is really also it's very important for a woman's body because women are different from men, and where men um, could get away with like losing weight faster than women because we have to deal with hormones.
Yeah. Yeah. Hormonal differences are real, very much so.
Hmm.
Um, and I actually had some stats to show um, to everyone in a little bit, to where women just in terms of how much body percentage, fat percentage, I mean, they have in their body, it's typically higher. And a big
Hmm.
one of the big reasons why, because women end up having children,
Yeah.
and in order to nurture a child, you need to have more resources, to provide. So, and then, as you stated, hormonally speaking, it's just a different ball game.
Hmm.
But it sounds like you're saying that it comes down to discipline and choices, and diet being a big choice, exercise being a big choice,
Hmm.
rest being a big choice. Why you think so? Let's get to the really nitty gritty of things.
Hmm.
Given that people we have all these resources, we have the knowledge, we know what to do. Why you think people? And I'm not talking about just women now. I'm talking about both genders. Why people in general still end up, gaining weight
Hmm.
and not able to keep off the weight?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't. It's a very general question, and it's it's something that I don't have necessarily the answer to it. But I can tell you about my own experience. I didn't know before, like I didn't know why I was overweight. I didn't know why I couldn't drop the weight. I didn't know, you know, why why I had so much cravings, right? Because it, yeah, our body, from what I've learned, our body gets almost addicted to what we eat. So that's why we have all these sugar pastries and soda commercials on TV or wherever we go because it's an addiction for us. So so I think maybe it's just it's a good business. That's why we're like the way we are in the society. That's my opinion.
You said we like the way we are.
We're yeah. This is the way we are. Um, I think for some it's they're comfortable with it. For some.
Hmm. Yeah, good stuff. That's good. Um, yeah, I mean, I think I can say quite a few things, but I'm trying to be sensible, you know,
Mm.
because I think that um, I mean, I think it's easy to bash people on some of these topics, but I also think that um, some people do have circumstances. But
Mhm.
the troubling part for me is, statistically speaking, there the numbers are just staggering. With the obesity, um, with the number of obese individuals and overweight individuals in the United States. So um, it's no longer just about affection. and attraction, and how
Yeah,
well people can do in dating. It has to do very much with the well-being of an
mhm,
individual. So I think
absolutely.
that's even bigger picture.
I agree with you. And, when we look at successful people too, like, I'm just gonna say, I don't know, Anthony Robbins, they're very slim. Like, if you think about how, just powerful people, they try to be very slim. I think there has to be something to do with that too. Like, how much can we hold our indulgence? Because some cultures are more. I'm Mexican, so we indulge all the time. That's why
Yes.
we love
Yes.
tacos and food, right? But I've noticed other cultures, like the Japanese culture, they hold their cravings more. Um, so what I'm trying to say is, I think obesity has become more more cultural than individual.
So
I could be wrong.
do you is it a problem in Mexico as well?
Oh yeah, so I think Mexico is number one in obesity for children and adults.
Hmm. Okay.
Mhm.
So a lot of it has to do with the diet that people eat there.
Yes, because if you think about it, we eat a lot of corn, and so corn is the carbohydrate that usually is used to feed animals like pigs to make them fat. So imagine what it does to our bodies as human beings.
Yeah. Um yeah, that's disheartening,
Mhm.
because I think a lot of it ends up like people end up suffering.
Absolutely. For example, diabetes. That's a disease that runs in my family, and if you think about what triggers insulin spikes, it's usually sugar, carbs, stuff like that.
Yeah, 100%.
Mm,
100%. I mean, like, the thing is how much of so another thing that I was thinking, tonight prior to this live show is how much of our appearance and our image is a self-reflection of how we feel about ourselves.
mhm. Yeah, so that's why I brought up, successful people like Beyonce, right? Like, I wish I had Beyonce's beautiful hips, and because she's slim, but she has those hips. I think there's a image that we as a society want to follow, because there is that. I think being slim is something that we want, but we can't. Some people can't achieve. So it's very, in my opinion, is very marketable.
Oh yeah. I mean, like, people make a lot of money on it.
Mhm.
A lot of money on it. Look, I mean, I don't want to say. I mean, I could say the name. I mean, I guess I don't know if I would get canceled. I'm not a huge influencer yet,
Mhm.
but like a lot of fast food restaurants, we don't even have to name a specific one. I mean, if you go there, you can buy something very cheaply. You know,
Mhm.
$99 hamburger or $99 cheeseburger. I mean, like when you think about the economics of it, it's a lot cheaper, especially if you have a family, right? If you can feed a family for $7 or $8, right? You're
Yeah.
gonna you're gonna go for that every single time.
Mhm.
I'm one person. Today I had lunch, I paid $13.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that I eat the best of the best. No, but at least like things that are I know to an extent how it's been cooked. I know I feel comfortable about, the ingredients and what I'm buying, and so at least it gives me peace of mind. to what I'm buying, but it does not cost 99 cents. So
Mhm.
it just doesn't, this math does not ever add up. You're
Yeah.
never going to, when you're going to save so much money on food, the question will automatically become how. And that's one thing that I could never understand, when people eat fast food all the time, is that, you know it's like you realize that there's no way that this piece of meat should be costing you 99 cents. There's
Mhm.
something inherently wrong with this sandwich, with this fast food place that you're going. It's just because the meat does not cost that amount of money. That
Mhm.
piece of meat should be costing at least $3 or $4.
Mhm.
So what in the world do they do to that meat, right? How
Mhm.
old it is, how it's made? Is it even meat? What do they put in there to preserve it? So is I have more questions than answers, right? For me
Mhm.
to be comfortable in saying, okay, I'm going to go ahead and buy a $99 hamburger. Uh, no, what am
Mhm.
I doing to myself? I may be literally killing myself without just really knowing, because there's no way that's cost, any normal food would cost that much. So that's my train of thought. That's why, like, uh, n-
You can't
n-
buy
I can't make myself do it.
junk food.
I can't do it. I just can't
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah. No, it's reasonable what you're saying. Um, yeah, like if you, I look into buying, for example, grass-fed beef is exponentially more expensive than just grade beef, for example. And I I might just eat one time beef during the whole week, but I'd rather eat that type of beef. But a lot of people, like you said, can't afford that. I was a student when I was a student when I was an undergrad student. I was eating from Taco Bell because I was getting those bean and cheese burritos for 79 cents. So I've been there. I know the struggle.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so it seems to me that there are real choices to be made.
Hmm.
Real choices to be made about how we go about taking care of our body, and what we're putting in our body. And this is such a holistic topic too. It's not just diet, it's not just exercise, right? It's not just sleep. It's everything, plus stress management. Um,
Hmm.
plus, are you actually, I believe that the enjoyment factor is important. I believe that, if you enjoy the process of living healthier life, I
Hmm.
think there is some unknown effects. I really do. I think we don't truly understand hormonally what happens, like on a hormonal level, when everything comes together, right? Because
Hmm.
the healthy people tend to be happier people,
Hmm.
right? And I just think there's something to it. So I know I'm reaching. I know I'm reaching, but you know, I want for my community, I want for my community to be healthy. Um, and I want for my community to have the knowledge, and
Yeah.
to be objective about these things, because we're going to take a look at in a little bit of on the numbers, and numbers don't lie.
Hmm.
We have the data as far as how to self manage to be healthy. Well, thank you so much. I really, really appreciate your time. It was so awesome to see you. Elvia, it was so awesome to hanging out and to listen to your thoughts. I appreciate you very, very much. I
Thank
hope you have a great evening.
I will. Thanks. Bye.
Have a great one. Bye.
Bye.
My friends, it's so great. Professor Nez is in the house, coming in hot with the $10 super chat. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you. By the way, community prototype fam, if you missed my live stream, my live show with Professor Nez, we talked about it's been like probably a month and a half ago. We talked about a lot of different things. We talked about what it means to be a content creator. We talked about branding and how to take advantage of today's technology that we have, internet, this amazing, incredible resource for all of us. So if you have not had an opportunity to see this talk, I highly, highly encourage you to check it out. Um, you will see it's both of us in the thumbnail. His picture, my picture, and it has a YouTube logo on it. Great talk. Professor Nez is a great, great guy. Connected with him on Clubhouse. He inspired me to do this live stream. So there's a big, big credit goes to Professor Nez um, for the fact that I'm even doing this, because he kind of indirectly pushed me out of my comfort zone to do this. And Professor, I've been doing this Monday through Friday. So I've been a live streaming fiend. My YouTube channel becoming just a one big live show. And I can't complain. Thank you so much for the love. I appreciate that very, very much. Thank you from the bottom of my heart, my brother. It means a whole lot that you stop by, and it means a whole lot that you are supporting me in that very special way. Thank you. And that was super chat from Kaya. Kaya was a guest, a special guest tonight, and we just talked about it. New Zealand. So amazing to see your support. I really, really appreciate you. Appreciate the fact that you were sharing so openly, um, your experiences. And listen, guys, that's not easy to do. That's not easy to come on live stream and just speak your mind about, you know, on this topic, what effect extra weight has on affection. It's not easy to do. So big, big, big props to Kaya, and thank you so much for your support. It means the world to me. And looks like Gori Gal, and that was super sticker from you. Appreciate you so very much. I love your comments. I love your energy, the way you communicate, the way you just talk about things that matter to you, and the way you share information. I really, really, really dig it. Thank you so much for your support. It means the world to me, truly. Great conversation so far. Great people here. So amazing to see you all. I want to be able to get to my direct message on Instagram from other member of the community who also share some of her personal experiences. So we are getting a variety of different views, right? We're getting direct views from our live guests today, which is great to connect with them. We're getting some amazing comments in the chat, and we're also getting some direct messages. So you're just seeing different angles, information coming to you from all different angles. So hopefully you're really getting something out of it. I really hope so. So let's jump into the DM and read what this other member of the community said about the effects of extra weight on affection, or how it affected her personal life. So let's take a look, shall we? I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you can see it. Actually, I'll just read it. I think you should be able to see it. So this person said, I know everyone's biggest fear is to be overweight and seen as less desirable because of it. This was my fear once. And here's what happened to me. I was a chubby kid and I didn't grow out of it. I found out when I was in late teens, I had hormone problems, and that it was going to be even harder for me to maintain a healthy weight. At the time, I was about size 12 and I was healthy but upset about my vanity pounds. I was already active in trying to watch what I eat. Out of us sisters, I was by far the smallest one. So I thought I would beat the odds. I started over exercising and going crazy with dieting. I did end up going down a few sizes, but I was always tired, got sick easy, and didn't feel right. This went on for years. What changed everything was the day I went to the hospital with chest pains and find out all of my vitals were too low and I was on the verge of having a heart attack. The reason? Because my potassium levels were so low from the crazy dieting. At that point, I had to stop all madness, and for a couple of months, I had to eat real food and recover. I gained a lot of weight during that time because I'd been advised to leave it alone. When I had approval to resume a diet and exercise routine, I was a size 24. My metabolism was so imbalanced and slow from what I did. It took a year of not going overboard to get back down to my old size 12 and not be sick. What I learned was we aren't all made to look like the people in magazines. If we eat reasonable and exercise moderately, our own genes will decide the right weight for us. As I enter my early 40s, I am size 12 to 14 today and have no high cholesterol, no diabetes, and I am healthy. After that trip to the hospital, my follow up appointments revealed that I also had scurvy because of lack of vitamin C and so many other vitamins I was so deficient in. In my attempts to be thin, I made myself look scary, not pretty. Having bleeding gums and hair falling out is like something out of a scary movie. I look back and say how could I let it get the bad and not realize it? I think she meant to say get that bad and not realize it. For one thing, I had a doctor that thought I was healthy just because I wasn't fat. And they didn't think anything was wrong until it got really bad. I was starting to fall apart, literally. I think the other thing is I was so obsessed with the scale, I lost sign of what was actually healthy. As a side note, if you don't have enough vitamin D, you can't absorb vitamin C. That's why, despite eating fruit, I still got scurvy. If you're low in vitamin E, you can't absorb potassium either. I learned that the hard way. So, yet another a heartfelt um, experience from one of our community members. And when I read these, when I was reading that earlier, and when I read it just now, it just makes me think of again the situations that people go through that don't meet the eye. You know, I think it's easy to see a person out and about who maybe doesn't look the part, right? And it's easy to prejudge. Um, it's hard, however, to know what this person to went through. I guess pretty much impossible to know what the person went through and what caused that person to gain weight, right? Um, and there is a real psychological implications that you know that you could hear from this particular piece right here. Um, it wasn't for the lack of trying. There were other things in the picture, right? The deficiency of nutrition that caused it partially, right? And all the stress that comes with it. So thank you for sharing that. Let's look at some comments, shall we? Let's look at some comments really quickly. Um, looks like Nez had some couple very nice words. Thank you so much, Nez. I'm. It's very humbling to hear from you, man. You really inspired me to do this. So appreciate you very, very much. Um, Jamie said, Professor Nez. Yes, Professor Nez. The food here in America give many people hormonal disturbances. We have to be more serious about what we're putting in our body. There's no other way to explain it. And this is these are opportunities for growth. These are opportunities for improvement. These are opportunities at least to start to get curious. This is not about doing what I tell you to do. This is about saying, okay, am I where I want to be or am I not where I want to be? If I'm not where I want to be, what can I learn about my own body and my own mind? And how can I improve my current situation? It's about knowledge. It's not about anyone opinion. It's about, gaining knowledge, and good news for all of us, right? Knowledge now is widely available. We have websites. Think about this for a moment. Just think about it. And, hashtag rant, put it in. Hashtag rant. But those rants, when they happen, it's game time, because the wisdom is going to be dropped. Wisdom is going to be dropped. I need to give you a perspective, because this is who I am. This is who I am. I must give a perspective, because if I don't, I feel like I'm not bringing you value, right? And so I need to give a perspective. Where's the sound? Where's the proper sound? This was not loud enough. Let's tune it up. Let's tune it up a little bit. I gotta give you a perspective. Oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah, baby. And perspective is 30, 40 years ago, our parents, our grandparents had to go to the library. They had to read newspapers. They had to seek out expertise of someone else, and they had to do all of that without internet. And and oh, by the way, I'm pretty sure that they managed to be slimmer than a lot of people today, aka healthier than a lot of people today. We have all the information at our fingertips. I'm not discounting that people going through tough times. I get it. People dealing with some really difficult circumstances, but not everyone, not all the time. So let's not play that, okay? A lot of us don't take time to stop this freaking show on Netflix. Let's call it as it is. We sit on the couch, we're eating potato chips, or you know, whatever snack you prefer. And we're watching movies. And listen, you know what? It's an observation of mine. It's going to sound creepy, but sometimes I walk past houses and I just peek at the window and I literally see just people sitting around. I'm not coming close to houses or peek like a creepy guy. I'm just walking on the sidewalk and I see it, right? Big part of a problem is us, the decisions that we make. All right? Put that hashtag rant. Put the hashtag rant in the freaking comment. I'm not done. I'm not done. I am speaking to myself as much as I'm speaking to the world. I get lazy. I need to keep myself accountable. So maybe later I'm going to come and watch this video and I'm going to say, snap yourself into it, brother. Stop being lazy. Get your butt up and go for a walk. Get your butt up and get water instead of, some Mountain Dew stuff. Mountain Dew, don't sue me. Nothing against you, just too much sugar. And just a little thing, just a little thing. Use this thing for good. Use this thing for good. Watch some YouTube videos, pull up some website that will give you the data. The jury is out. The information is available, readily available. It's free. It's free. You don't even have to go to the library. You don't even have to go to the library. All you have to do is open a browser, pull up YouTube. We are YouTube community. You can get most of your questions answered on this very platform. Absolutely free. I know I may be preaching to the choir here. Some of you are already healthy. Some of you know that. And some of you may be saying whatever. Use those resources, please. Use these resources while we young, while we capable, while we able. Capable and able, pretty similar. While we willing. Let me put in more words. Let me sprinkle more words in there. And if you're not willing, make yourself willing, because that's important. It's very important. Hashtag rant. Put it in the comment, baby. Hashtag rant. Hashtag rant. Let's go. Let's go. Let's look at some comments. When I moved to Mexico, I would eat tacos and all that stuff and still lost so much weight. It was crazy. The meat, the produce overall there is different. So fresh, less hormones added. If you can, actually scratch this. Not if you can. Find decent quality food, whether it's locally produced by your farmer market, whether you have a decent a decent quality grocery store. We have a couple of grocery stores here in Orlando. I like to go to Trader Joe's. We have Whole Foods. I don't shop a whole lot in Whole Foods. We have Greenfields Farms, which is like a local meat and produce market. Find a store or two in your town that has healthier options. Start looking at food as an investment. I think big problem that we experience in today is that we're looking at food as a nuisance, is inconvenience to spend more money on food. We will invest in nice TV. We will just think about it. Just think how crazy this concept is. We will invest in a nice TV, in a nice couch, in a nice home, in a nice car, but we will not invest in better quality, yes, more expensive, but better quality food that we will put inside our body. The only thing that, physiologically speaking, the body, physiologically speaking, is the only thing, and by the way, one and the same, body and mind. I don't separate them. That very food has implications not just for your body, it has implications for your mind. Hello. Sorry to break it to you, but I believe it. I believe it. Interconnected. So we are willing to invest in a couch, car, home, vacation, but we don't look at the food the same way. We're trying to save money on food. How about we start saving money on stupid TVs? How about we start saving money on alcohol? How about we start spending money going places that we cannot afford and start investing money in everyday health, such as food and better quality water? I listen, I start drinking this Fiji water. I can't, and some of you say, hey, man, you bougie, man. You bougie. I'm not bougie. I'm trying to figure out a better quality water right now. That's one of the things that I'm actually trying to do. This filtered water just doesn't, it has taste to it. I can taste it. There's something going on with this water. So you don't have to buy Fuji water. What I'm encouraging you to do is figure out how you can create the best possible resources for yourself in terms of food, in terms of water. These things are far more important than subscription to Netflix. Not even close. Not even close. I think it is also because of the Kardashians and the craze for getting the Instagram body that has ruined dating in today's age for women. Um, I'm not going to discount that. I'm not going to say that it doesn't matter. But I'm also not going to say that this is our demise, that we are screwed, that everybody is looking for that type of body. No, no. Let's not. Yes, we can acknowledge that. We should acknowledge that. But Instagram life is not the real life. People don't look like this that you see in a grocery store. They just don't. They just don't. And oh, by the way, I have news for you. A lot of these people on Instagram, they have, or they use what's called Photoshop. They make their hips, they make their waist a little bit thinner, their hips maybe a little bit wider, their butt a little bit more rounded. If you see them in real life, you'll be like, hold on, I thought you had some buns, but these are these are not it. What's going on here? Sometimes it's a trick. Sometimes what you see online, what you see on TV is not real thing. And sometimes what you see is actually been implanted. Did you know that people doing ass implants now? You know that people been doing boobs implants for a while. Well, now people doing ass implants. It's real. You know what's crazy? It would take me a while to find her profile, but there's this woman on Instagram, and I saw her picture randomly, and I'm like, whoa, whoa, that doesn't look natural. I scroll down to the beginning of her Instagram page, and she was flat. I'm talking about booty. She was flat. That chick did implants that look, it looked not proportional. It looked like she borrowed somebody else's ass. And when you see it first, you're like, whoa. It messes with your mind because for a man, it's like, yeah, men like, as men, we like curves. We like curves, but also sometimes it's like, hold on, this just doesn't look right. Like there's something off. Mother Nature created people to be in certain proportion. We're not talking about cartoons with the little bitty waist. You know, you have cartoon characters who have like little bitty waist like that, and then like the body like a Coke bottle. No, real life, it's very rare. So just understand, like people are messing. People literally messing with other people's mind. They're selling stuff. They're selling a certain image, right? Because if they can make you believe that this is how they are, this is how beautiful they are, and that you can be that beautiful, they can sell you a whole lot of I don't have to say bad words. You get my drill. Please take all these people, all these celebrities, all this Instagram crap with the huge grain of salt. Huge grain of salt. I'm gonna just start making my own Instagram. A chubby sexy Russian. How about that? Give me a hashtag. If you want to see it, chubby sexy Russian, put it in the comment. Would you like to see real deal, with no filters, with no gimmicks? Put it in the chat. Chubby sexy Russian, the real deal. We can go there. You might regret it later. We can go there. Kardashians. Give me a break. It's not real people. Men don't understand that women like J Lo and Kardashians get surgeries and not get that body from the gym. Thank you. Thank you. I was just talking about that. Thank you. If you want to be walking surgery, if you want to spend thousands and thousands of dollars just to feel the mold, just to feel the mold, would you bet $1,000 that these people are happy? I wouldn't. I would not. I would not. The system is fudged up. Here, they do that on purpose. More money for skin. Here we go. Here we go. If I can sell you a perfect body, and if I can get your mind to believe certain things, ching ching, it's a payday, baby. I have a sound for you. You know what these celebrities are doing? You know what they're doing? I'll show you exactly what they're doing. Goodness gracious, if these commercials will go away, if these commercials would go away, these advertisements, goodness gracious. This is just, it's just not even worth it anymore. Waiting for the sound. I'll just make a sound. Ching ching. That's the sound. That's the sound. That's what they're doing. They just want your money. Even if I live in Mexico, I try to eat as healthy as possible. I think it's a matter of creating good eating habits. 100%. It is 100% about creating good, healthy eating habits. That's one of the things. It's one of the things. 100%. Take this from a 45-year-old broad. Love yourself at all your weights. If someone can love you, they aren't for you. So this is really interesting, right? This is really interesting because I agree with part of it, and I think there is this room for discussion for the other part of it. I believe that you don't have to, but I believe that we must, for ourselves, for our own sake, we must get to a place where we first start with loving ourselves. First, self acceptance and love, first and foremost. Okay? Not because of anything else. Nothing else matters. I am making a blank statement. We have to, this is the starting point. Self-love is the starting point. Not because you look good, not because you're smart, not because, no, because you simply, it's a self-acceptance, right? It's the self-talk that you're going to do to yourself, right? Now, this is the second important part, right? It's the second important part. When you love yourself, you have to ask yourself a question, and you have to be, I believe, you have to be honest with yourself. What it is, regardless of anybody else's opinion or influence, what it is that you want for yourself. What it is that you want as an individual for yourself, right? What in this case, what kind of body, what kind of health do you want to possess for yourself? And then I believe the next step, if you don't have what you really want for yourself, you must pursue what you want for yourself. Not to impress another person, not to fit the mold, not to look like an Instagram model. No, because you have your own internal reasons why you want it. Maybe because you want it so you can be the best version of yourself. Maybe you can be the healthiest version of yourself. Maybe you're trying to achieve a specific goal, a fitness goal that you're looking for. To me, that's the way to do this, right? And so, with that being said, if you being honest about what you really want in terms of what you deserve for yourself, and if you tell yourself that I am currently overweight, 20 pounds, but I love myself and I truly think that's the right place for me to be, and you really believe that, then then I guess you have what you want. Because I think at the end of the day, nobody can change. Nobody can change you. Nobody can change you. This is why I think it's critical. I think it's critical to do introspection. I'm a big believer in that. All that other external components, it's not going to be long lasting. It's short lived. You know, you already know. You already know. You already know. Rant, baby. Hashtag rant. Let's go. Got it. I gotta spit it out. I gotta spit it out. I gotta give it to you all. Jamie said, also, I think as women, we need to support and encourage each other more. Be positive instead of judging. I see a lot of body shaming at the gym by women at women trying to lose weight. Thank you. Thank you. Body shaming is terrible. Body shaming is terrible. Um, the support system has to be there. It's like finding accountability body, right? Go to the gym with somebody that you can work out with, somebody, even if they're not on the same level or similar level, let's say that they're better. Hopefully they're not worse. Hopefully they're better, so they can kind of push you a little bit, right? Um, but if they are worse, then you have to push them a little bit. I feel like somebody is going to be pulling the other person forward at least a little bit to an extent. But I think the important thing here is that other person is understanding and you on the same team. You're trying to, work towards a similar goal. You, or if it's not even a similar goal, you have this burning desire inside you to get to that place, right? To succeed. When you do that, you can really, you know, go the distance. You can do some damage. You can achieve some results. You already know, Becky, it's a rant time, baby. I'm going to be rocking people to sleep over here with these wisdom drops. I see some smiles in the chat. It's always great to see. It's always great to see. I see some interactions. Why am I crazy? What did I say? What did I say? Planet Fitness is good at having a no judgment zone until you start talking to people. and then they just give you all the dirty laundry of theirs. Oh my goodness, I'm so behind. I'm so sorry. I'm so behind on the comments. Hold on. I'm going. Oh no, the shaming is terrible. I want to get to all the comments, but I don't think I will. Becky said, on the days I don't feel like working out, listening to heavy metal is very motivating to help me push through it. Hey, find your way. There's no judgment. Find your way. Find your way. What moves you? Eating organic. Hey, listen, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Organic food is expensive. Everybody knows it. But would you put 20% gasoline in your car instead of 85% or 90% gasoline, or whatever this percentage is, closer to the pure gasoline? But we do it with our bodies. I mean, we do it with our bodies. We're fueling our body with less than reasonable fuel, and then we wonder why we running on empty. You get what you pay for. You get what you pay for. If you can't eat organic all the time, I don't eat organic all the time, but I weaving. I'm weaving my way through. I get vegetables from this source. I get meat from that source. I maybe do a little bit of fasting. Don't eat half of the day. Don't eat unless I'm hungry. So figure out what works for you. Figure out how you can optimize your own eating habits and your diet. And there's all kinds of different styles. So minimalist Japanese lifestyle. We overeat all the time in this country. We don't need 3 meals all the time, especially 3 big meals. That's nonstop work for your digestive system. Research that. Don't take my word for it. This session is not to show you how to eat properly, right? This is just a extra, right? This is a side point. Research that. Look at what other cultures are doing. Look at Mediterranean cuisine is one of the most, apparently people in the region have one of the longest life expectancy. What are they doing? What are they eating? What are they doing also? Not just eating, but what are they doing? Why are they living longer? Start being curious about those things. I raised chickens for eggs, got 10 chickens. They are my therapy animals. Nice. Chicken is legit. Chicken eggs. Korean food is fantastic for weight loss. Go kimchi. Love kimchi. I love kimchi. If you haven't had it, you are missing out. Find yourself some Korean place. Find yourself some Korean place. Must be done. Must be done. I'm telling you, must be done. You will not regret this. At least try it. At least try this with sweet potatoes. Ooh, now y'all gonna make me hungry over here. Y'all gonna make me hungry. All the South Korean spots are closed. Y'all start talking about kimchi. Goodness gracious. Goodness gracious. What a great conversation tonight. I am loving it. Again, we kind of stray away a little bit. We had a couple guests that we talked about, and then we talked about this particular topic. Um, how extra weight affects attraction. And we kind of went sidestepped, as they say, right? Jamie said, my trainer told me you can only get a butt like that with surgery. um, do strength training to get it more juicy. More juicy. What words? That's one of my favorite words. I use it towards the topic, not towards the booty. I was using it before when I like a topic of a conversation. I would usually say, this is going to be juicy conversation. I'm going to bring it back, D. I'm going to bring it back. This is good stuff. This is good stuff. Let's see what else people are saying. My boyfriend used to send me edited photos. I told him to stop doing that. The pressure is there for men and women in many countries. The pressure is there unless I agree with D, unless you've reached self-love and acceptance. And then you realize that a lot of people are just on BS. A lot of people are just finessing other people. They're just trying to get something out of it. Listen, coming back to the previous point, what it is that you want, block the noise. The more you are on social media and the more that you're looking at these pictures that look perfect, the more perfect they look. Here's the recipe. How about this? Hashtag rant. Put it in. Hashtag rant, baby. Put it in. The more perfect that people look on the pictures, the more you should be concerned. The more suspicious you should be. Okay? Because by definition, we're not perfect. We have flaws. Our bodies are not symmetrical. Our bodies not, this incredible shape all the time. And you see it way too often on Instagram, a little too much. Just like everybody nowadays have those bodies. And let me tell you something. I used to work for years in fitness facilities, and women, I'm not knocking on you, but women do it more than guys. They would pose. They would flex. They would put an angle. They would take like 25, 30 pictures. They would stand certain ways. They would flex their booty, right? They would find the angle. They would find the lightning. And guess what? After taking 25, 30 pictures, they will choose one or two. They will some of them will edit it even more, right? Put a little bit more lighting, put a few more filters, right? And they put that stuff on Instagram. And then you see it and you think, oh my God, look at her. And oh my God, look at her. And oh my God, look at her. All these beautiful girls. It's a mind trick. For one thing, She took 20, 30 shots and she picked one. So she got the perfect angle. And I've seen it. I'm not making that stuff up. I've seen that. I've seen girls taking pictures of girls over and over and over and over and over and over again until they get this special shot. So understand, for one thing, you can't be comparing somebody who is been working out. For one thing, if you currently not working out, it's not an easy comparison to begin with. Secondly, you're not doing what they're doing as far as number of pictures, right? Taking the same number of picture. So the production value, that's what it comes down to. The production value is not the same. Thirdly, the editing value is not the same. So you got to understand the steps that it takes some of the people to get to the point. And dudes do it too. I just think not to the same extent, but they do it too. Okay. So you got to understand the steps that it takes somebody to get to these pictures that you see on Instagram, plus Photoshop, plus improved lighting, plus filters. If you strip that all down, if you're going to see that chick or that dude walking next to you in the gym, a lot of them, you're not going to be turning your head. You're not going to be turning your head. But on Instagram, it looks like she's amazing. Strong ballerina, man get enhancement surgeries, but fake muscles, Botox. It's not widely discussed though. So women are made to believe they are more insecure than men. Even penis. Goodness gracious. What did we get to? The best version of myself. That's right. That where it starts. Cheyenne, and find someone that loves you as you are now and will love you when you lose weight too. That's the guy you want. In the perfect world, yes. In the perfect world, yes. I love this topic and all the honest discussion here tonight. Dito, very much so. Very much so. That's why I don't do social media, because it makes everyone self conscious. Social media could be a detriment. Deleting Instagram made that big difference. It's how we use it. Remember, it's how we use this. Social media is becoming a very toxic thing to handle for many, many people. Whole Foods market, whole paycheck. Yes, there was a running joke, Heather, but the thing is, you know what also will what people will be forced to do when they come to Whole Foods market? Get the essentials, not overeat. I don't suggest that you need to come in and buy everything from Whole Foods. I don't suggest you go from Walmart, where you spend $50 weekly, to Whole Foods, where you spend $150 weekly. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that you can pick and choose. I'm saying that you can supplement, and I'm saying you can get some good quality things from some higher quality places in town. It doesn't have to be Whole Foods necessarily. It's just could be places that sell decent quality foods. And eat, like, when I say eat less, take it again with a grain of salt. Everybody's situation is going to be different. I don't know your exact situation. If you're trying to gain weight, or if your diet is deficient or insufficient in some nutrients, always consult the doctor first. Go to registered dietitian. Go to a medical doctor who specializes in dietetics. Right? There are ways to do this. There's ways to research, but you don't have to overeat. And check sodium and sugar on organic foods, because they be loaded with it too. Yes, indeed. I grow asparagus. Oh my goodness. Now we have to really look. This community, Felicia already gave me, she brought as a gift some venison jerky for me. Guess how long it took for me to devour that thing? She brought it on Sunday. It was Tuesday. Yeah, 3 days. 3 days it was gone. When it's good, it's good. My point is, I might have to start making deals with this community because Godi Gal, asparagus sounds like a nice deal. Are you selling? Are you selling it? I might have to start buying it from you. Not even joking. Heather said, I thought I was really doing something with my $180 weekly vegan Whole Foods groceries. That's a lot. That is a lot. But again, if there is a purpose to, to this, and if you need that for the optimal health, I think it's still worth it. That's just my take. There are a lot of groups offering produce boxes. They do a day boxes. They do a day when bring it in. It's at a better price than the stores. That's another great option. It's a really good option. I would recommend looking into it. There are definitely a couple of them in Orlando. So find where you have options like that where you live. To answer the question from earlier, I'm not a Georgia Bulldog fan. I've only been here a few years. I moved here from Michigan. Good for you. If you're a Georgia Bulldog, I might have to. Never mind. I'm not going to joke about it. Um, this is a all encompassing community. Sometimes the football season is coming up. The first game is this Saturday, so I've been a fan of football for my college team, Florida Gators, for a while. Self improvement is attractive. Heck yeah, it is. Heck yeah, it is. That's how I feel about self improvement. I'm all levels mental, physical, and mental can. I'm all levels mental, physical, and mental can have one without Bruce. Other I teach in mental health counseling. Okay, nice. Very cool. I think you made some corrections. Emotional. Rant. I love to rant. It's so much fun, yo. It's so much fun. I love to rant. Rent it. Rent it. BBY. What is BBY? Is it baby? This strong ballerina knows I'm not good with abbreviations. Focus on the things you want, not what you don't want. Yoga artist, what's up? Pleasure to see you. Pleasure to see you here. Thank you for stopping by. I will have Heather send you a YouTube link to the person I'm learning here. Perfect. Yeah, do that. I love when we interact, and I love when prototype family exchanging experiences and sharing knowledge. So, like, what's the booty thing? Are we forgetting what comes out? Are we forgetting? I'm not sure. I'm not sure exactly. I can only make a guess what you're referring to, Gordy Gal, but um, I will not even say it. You can, if you want, you can explain further. Why I avoid using Instagram. As a dentist, I feel horrified when I see those big Botox lips. People are deforming themselves. That's real. That's real. That is real. Listen, I'll be completely honest with you. When I was younger, I was self-conscious. I was thinking about, I was thinking, what could I do to make myself better, right? How can I adjust my body? I mean, my ears are not the same. The face is not symmetrical. But then I realized, like, I mean, like, Why? Why do that? Because last time I checked, nobody on this earth is perfect. Nobody. So you know what? If somebody's going to judge me based on how I look, and if my ears are not the same, it's probably going to say more about the other person than me. Honesty. And self love, not delusional self love, kind self love, honest self love. I know I mess up. I know I'm far from perfect, but honest self love, self reflection, self kindness, supporting yourself. If you say, okay, what we talked about earlier, like, hey, I'm not what I want to be. I got to work towards it. But you gotta provide that support to yourself. Positive self talk. Just think of the ones that have tons of those perfect shots posted. Must be exhausting work. It is exhausting work. But some people, don't forget that, remember that some people make money with Instagram. That's a business. You got to understand that you're looking at people who are making money. So it's not even an even playground. You're looking at somebody, we're comparing ourselves to people who are in business. Support each other. Don't compete with each other. That's why I get along with guys better. Girls are way more competitive than men now. It's more difficult to come by people who will be your true supporters nowadays. You have to just pick your inner circle carefully. I use Instagram to learn colloquial. Is it how you say it? Colloquial Russian. На примере я сонное чмо. Wow, this is like interesting. I also look at mostly ballot things and recipes. Cool. Very cool. I use Instagram for nature photography, food photography, and TikTok to show how to cook. I don't have much money, so I go to food for others twice a month. They help my family so much. You go to food for others. I wonder what do you mean exactly. You buying food for others, or you buying food from others for yourself and your family? I prefer people with their flows. I want a person, not a doll. Well said. Very well said. Your ears. Yeah, my ears. Ear judging. Ear judging. Milk and lemonade. That's where the P comes out. They were singing that on SNL. Cheyenne, you're the sweetest. You always have some good things to say. Thank you. How many people in this room love yours face? Wow. That's so funny. I think you are very kind. This community is very kind. I mean, like, the reason I feel okay sharing some of this vulnerable stuff, because I know how you are. I know how the prototype fam is. I know that, you're super supportive and super sweet. So I don't mind it. If I was maybe on a different YouTube channel or talking with someone else, um, maybe I wouldn't be saying that, because you know somehow I feel kind of comfortable with you. Maybe kind of odd because other people can see me, but whatever. I see your comments, and I kind of, now I feel like I know you. You know, propose. So much support, so much support. I appreciate that. This is turning into community to compliment Yuri. Yuri, do you feel that you are a confident man? Uh, I am Summer Dream. I am. The thing is, I learned from. I made a reference before to Gary Vaynerchuk, this guy that I hold in a very high regard. I learned from him that you have to stay in the middle. You can't be too high, you can't be too low. So this is hard to do because when you hear just good things all the time, it's easy, I think, for you to think, oh, maybe I'm this. But I think it can create a false sense of confidence. Or on the other spectrum, or other end of the spectrum, if people always bashing you and disrespect you, you can start thinking of yourself as less that you really are. You start thinking, I'm not good enough. I suck. People don't recognize me. People say bad things about me. So even though it's awesome to hear positive things, um, the key is for me is how to stay in the middle. Don't get too high, don't get too low. Because if you're going to get too high on compliments, you're probably going to get too low on trolling and disrespectful remarks. And you can't. I think the life is about keeping the balance, right? It's about knowing where this balance lies. Um, so that's what I try to do. It's not to say that I take your kindness for granted. I appreciate that very, very much. But I also know if somebody showed up in the chat right now and said that I'm suck, or that I need to go and fly the kite, whatever, I can't. I need to take it with a grain of salt. So if I'm gonna do that to bad things, I need to do it to good things as well, because otherwise, once it gets to your head, it's a dangerous place to be. You should do seminars. Come to NY. Jo, maybe one day it will lead to something. I mean, these conversations have been so impactful for me. I just feel so incredible for the fact that I can talk with all of you live, and we can carry these conversations. And it's already been 2 hours, and I keep telling myself it's going to be 1 hour. It's going to be 1 hour, but it's hard to walk away from these conversations. And I start feeling honestly as if it it is becoming more organic to have these conversations. It's becoming more organic to share my thoughts, and I am super grateful. To be completely honest, I am grateful for every single show. I'm grateful for every single interaction. I'm looking forward to the future and what's going to happen. But to be honest, I'm enjoying the moment. I'm enjoying right now because this feels dang good, baby. That was a Russian redneck accent for you. Do I have a sound for you? Ching ching, baby. That's the sound. If you just join us, be sure to smash the like button. How many likes do we have? We've been doing this for a couple hours. We had a couple live guests. We had a real person sharing her personal story through DM. Um, Come on, let's get those likes. Let's get those likes, yo. We need to get it. We need to get 20 likes. Whoa, 21 likes. I just like my stream. This is a good night, yo. I can go sleep in peace tonight. We got more likes than people watching. That means people who came in gave a like and left. So the next goal is to how make people stay. Still got to work. Still got to work it, baby. But right now we have 16 people watching. I appreciate every single one of you from the bottom of my heart. Let me be very clear about that. You can be doing anything else in the world right now. You can be with your friends, with your family. You could be watching something else, but you're here hanging out with me. This feels truly amazing. It feels truly amazing. Um, I just want to encourage you to, it's a side note, but I want to encourage you to identify what it is that drives you and just pursue it. Just do it. Just do it. What it is that you want to do, what it is that makes you feel alive, what it is that you love, love to do. I've grown to love to interact with this community. I've grown to love to make YouTube videos. Funny enough, I can't even get to make a video anymore. Like, these live streams taking so much of my time, and I know it shouldn't be an excuse, but between full-time job, you know, doing these lives, and now going back into blogging, it's just, it's like I actually have a video that I need to edit. I already shot it. I just need to edit. But after this, it's going to be 11 o'clock. I, I, I guess I just like running out of time with my videos, but whatever. We're going to figure it out. There are going to be more videos coming out. But these lives, I mean, it's such an incredible thing that's been happening. You know, it's such an amazing thing that's been happening. So I just, more than anything, I want to encourage you. If you don't know what it is right now, or haven't found what it is for you, I wish that you do. I wish that you do, and that you pursue it with everything you got, and that you can be in the moment. You can get to the place to where you don't worry about, you think about, you have goals, and you have, you know, um dreams. By the way, I did a blog post about dreams today. If you're not subscribing to my newsletter, um let me do a quick plug. I encourage you to do that, because that's going to allow you a different opportunity to connect with me on a different level. Okay. um this is, where was it? Hold on, I didn't put it in my love manual. Oh, here we go. That was yesterday's topic, so ignore the thing. Actually, I don't need to scroll it. Let's not scroll it real quick. Let's do this. So yesterday's topic was this: what is my love manual.com, and why should you care? So if you currently not on my newsletter and haven't seen any of the blog posts, I am now committing to more frequent blog posts. So that's going to be in addition to videos. That's going to allow you to connect with me on a different level. This is more, I don't want to say deep thoughts, but it's more like everyday things that comprise my life, and the sense that I make of it via blogging. Whereas videos, you know, there are concepts with videos, right? There is like thought development with videos, right? There's a little bit of humor, there's a little bit of education, whereas blogging is just different. It's a different point of connection, right? So if you're not subscribing to my newsletter, please consider mylovemanual.com. This is my website. Check out the blogs. I post one yesterday, I post one today. Today's blog was on dreams, and that's why I was doing this rant. Again, put a hashtag rant in the comments, is because I just want to encourage you to pursue your dreams, whatever that is. Find it, find what makes you happy, find what makes you feel alive, and just do this thing. Just do this thing, because that's, I believe it. I believe that that's going to lead to some positive outcomes. I truly do. Yes, we all need to stop negative thought patterns about ourselves. That's very important. Very, very important. 100%. I agree. We need to be, we need to, it's not just about positivity either. I think people say we need to be positive. We need to be honest with ourselves, but we need to be kind to ourselves. We need to practice, um, we need to practice a kind internal dialogue with ourselves. Because, you know, I don't know about you, but in the past, I would pay attention how I would speak with myself internally, and I would be bashing myself. And that's not good. That's not supposed to be like that. I would never talk like that with some other people, but I would bash myself. That's not supposed to be like that. You're supposed to treat you just as good as you treat yourself. You're supposed to treat yourself just as good as you treat anybody else. And Jo, I'm sorry I didn't finish the thought. It was just too overwhelming. But listen, my dream is to be a content creator for a living. I want to do this for a living. I continue to say that. I continue to put these things in the universe, and these things will come to pass. I don't know if that means I'm going to end up getting a job and working for a company creating videos or content. I don't know if that means that I'm going to just venture into my own business and take this YouTube to a different level. I don't know if that means that I'm going to maybe do seminars and some talks, if people really can get value out of it. But I just know, I feel it. I feel that this this is something. This is something that um, this is something that makes me feel sense of purpose, and this is something that allows me to have enormous amount of fun and connect with people from all over the world. And I cannot ask for any more. I mean, like, this is as good as it gets. So there you have it. Jamie, let me tell you, the ideal woman in other countries is not the same as in the US. Two world view is very different from US views on body image. I think there is a lot of truth to that. I think that there's a real difference. There's a real difference in how US views the body image. Um, and let's face it, it feels it feels kind of superficial in a lot of cases, right? um so depending on the community that you're part of, depending on the city that you're in, depending on the demographic, it could be very superficial, and therefore it could be, especially as a younger individual, it could be a tough thing to deal with. That's why I said I believe it's important to start with self-reflection. It's important to start with really self-acceptance first, and self-love first, and really just self-awareness, like, really understanding what it is that you want. I think it comes first. I really do. That will help you to kind of like block the noise. I think Brian has said something about that. She said, true, Jamie, Brazilian standards are different. On that same note, some countries are harsher than the US as well. Japan and China. Also Korea, very harsh. Yuri, you feel like our friend at this point. That's amazing. That's amazing. That's like a surreal thing. Summer dream. It's like a summer dream. You know what's crazy summer dream is that I just wrote a blog about dream, and the summer is just gone. So I don't know. There's just a lot of this play of words is just messing with my head right now. Your name is Summer Dream. Summer is just over. I had a dream last night, and I wrote a blog post about partially that dream, and then the other meaning of the term dream. So anyway, I won't give all of it away. But B, how you doing, B? Thanks for being here. What is your full-time job? I'm working in higher education, and I do um, advising. I work in advising, so I'm working with students. What will your next video be about? What is the title? Hold on, hold on. I have these things written down. Oh, it's going to be how to lose a Russian guy in one day. It's going to be a spin-off. Do you remember that movie that came out a while ago? How to lose a guy in 10 days with Matthew McConaughey. Have you seen that movie? Well, it's like taking this idea, but then turn it into the how to lose a Russian guy in one day. So things that you should not be saying to a Russian dude or do with the Russian dude. So there you go. You get the preview. That's the benefit of being here right now at the live stream. You get a little bit of a insight of what's going to happen with the next video. Rant, baby, rant. Let's go. Let's go. Gody Gale, what do all of you like physical about yourself? My hair is mine. Nice. My eyes. I think my eyes are the best feature. My feet. Nice. Good night, Jo. Thank you for hanging out. Appreciate you. What is your favorite body type for women? People are going to bed. Cheyenne said, my smile. Nice. Body type for women. It it's not one. I would say there are a few. Um, the How can I even describe it? Um, if we're talking about just from a physical standpoint, I mean, just somebody who takes care of themselves. Because when you talk to someone, when you approach them, you can kind of gauge pretty much right away whether or not they take care of themselves. Um, oh, I meant to show you some numbers. I meant to show you some numbers. Um, so you can have some tangible information. So someone who what would it mean exactly? I mean, I think weight management is important, um, again, it is not, you don't have to be a model, you don't have to be like super slim, um, but I think again, you just would need to look like you are doing a decent job taking care of yourself. So anything between, you see, I don't like super skinny. Like I think that it's not that I don't like, I think it's just visually the attraction, it's hard to develop attraction for like just like super skinny and bony, I'll say that. And so i don't I don't necessarily like on both ends of spectrum. Like I don't like too extreme too skinny, I don't like too extreme too overweight, you know so I like the fitness people, obviously, who take care of themselves, um like with people with curvy people, you know even sometimes people say like, oh, this woman is thick. um Thick could be very attractive too. Thick could be like a very broad category, right? um because a lot of thick women, they also have, you know not a big waist, they have a good waist to hip ratio. So like that also jumps out at you when somebody has a good hip to waist ratio. Some people have big butts and big legs, but that still doesn't mean that they are not taking care of themselves. So that's for me, that those are the types, like, anywhere that ranging from fitness and in shape to just average, to on the thicker side, but not like extremely overweight, I would say. Thank you for your question. Let me show you numbers real quick because I think that's going to be important. I wanted to get to this point at tonight's presentation, or live show, and I had to, sorry, I have to take this one off. Here we go. And then I will let you go. Remember, tomorrow we're going to read Russian poetry, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. All right. It's going to be some fire tomorrow. I'm excited for it. It's going to be different. We're not going to necessarily talk about same things, but it will give you opportunity to listen to some Russian poetry. Uh, we had some members of our community requesting it yesterday. So tomorrow we're going to do it. You're going to hear some poem that's called, well, it's going to be by Alexander Pushkin. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do yet. I have to see. Maybe I'll do a couple different ones. But I invite you to join tomorrow and to hear a real Russian um, from one of the greatest, if not the greatest, poet in history. All right. I know it's a big claim, but um, he was truly amazing, this guy. Truly, truly unbelievable talent. Let me show you a couple of things before we get out of here, because I wanted to do it earlier and I did not get to it. I did not get to it. Hold on. Oh, lordy, lordy, lordy. Hopefully you can still see me. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Almost there. Almost there. So the two things that I think will be useful for people to understand um, are body mass index and body fat percentage in the body, and how to how to um, how to how to not distinguish it, but what that means, essentially the meaning of it. Um, so I wanted to be able to show it to you, because that way you can judge it based on data, not on just some subjective things, right? So body mass index, let me show you that first. So this is actually from cancer.org. So it's American Cancer Society. So I deem that to be pretty reliable source. So normal weight ranges, body mass index. Body mass index, or BMI, is a way to help you figure out if you are at a healthy weight for your height. BMI is a number based on your weight and height. In general, the higher the number, the more body fat a person has. BMI is often used as a screening tool to decide if your weight might be putting you at risk for health problems such as heart disease, diabetes, and cancer. BMI is used to broadly define different weight groups in adults 20 years old or older. The same groups apply to both men and women. So let me see. Just I want to show you before we'll come back up in this different section, but I want to show you how to calculate that. So you can also calculate your own BMI. The actual formula to determine BMI uses metric system measurements, weight in kilograms divided by height in meters. When using pounds and inches, the formula needs to be altered slightly. Multiply your weight by pounds in pounds by 703. Divide that by your height in inches squared. So it showcases you how to do it exactly, right? So if you 120 pounds, you multiply it by 703, then you divide it by your height, 63, then you multiply by 63, and then you're doing this calculation, and it's up being, in this instance, 21.3, right? And then you find the range. So BMI between 18.5 and 24.9 is a normal weight. Overweight BMI 25 to 29.9. Underweight, and then obese BMI is over 30. And so you can just do cancer.org BMI, and you can come to this website and you can see. It will also give you a BMI chart. Now, the thing to keep in mind with the BMI, real quick, it's not bulletproof. The reason it's not bulletproof is because you can have somebody who is on the shorter side and very bulky, right? It happens a lot with guys, and it happens with women too sometimes, right? Somebody who works out a lot and who has a lot of muscles, they will be overweight according to BMI. So BMI is not bulletproof. You can't always use it and say that it's accurate, because it will be skewed sometimes, right? And this is why we want to also make sure that we use the body fat calculator. Um, in the body fat calculator, um, let me actually use it on me and see what it will be. I'm gonna put myself on blast and potentially just, I could, maybe it won't be good, but this is a calculator.net, right? So we'll put an age. Let's see what it says. I actually didn't weigh myself for a while. I'm probably somewhere around 160 right now. I'm skinny, need more muscle. Height actually is about this height. Neck, I'm not even sure, to be honest with you. Waist, 1 feet. And this is not going to come up right because I don't, my waist is 3 feet. I think it's somewhere around 210, 30. It would be, it might not be accurate. Whatever. I'll just do it as an example, okay? So you can get an idea. Um, it's not exactly accurate. It'll be more than 7.6. I guarantee you that. That's not, because I didn't enter the correct neck and waist, but it shows that my body fat is low, right? So it will give you the it will give you the visual presentation of what the body fat in your body is. And by the way, this is just an example. There are ways to do this with skin calipers. Um, there are ways to do that. There's like a little capsule that you can get into, and they're actually going to use by the means of air. So they're going to like calculate the difference in air pressure and the difference in somehow it interacts with your body, and the device will show them your body composition. So there's more than one way to calculate your body fat, right? Doing it online might not be the most accurate, but this is another important thing to keep in mind when you start comparing and when you start trying to figure out where you fall, whether you're in a healthy range or not, right? Because you're going to see the numbers. It's going to show you right here. American Council on Exercise, I actually have still my certifications through them, personal training and group fitness. It will show you for men and women what these numbers are. So essential fat for women between 10 to 15, 10 to 13%, athletes 14 to 20, fitness 21 to 24, and on average it will be between 25 to 31. So, you know, it's important to understand these things, because if you are, let's say 27% body fat, but you are looking in the mirror and you doing kind of body shaming, and you think that you know overweight, or you're not as skinny as you should be, numbers say otherwise, right? According to this 27%, it would be average. So it's important to know the numbers. So if some sucker will come to you and say like, hey, what's up, fatty? You tell him, no, stupid. Actually, I'm 27% body fat, which is average, right? So knowing the numbers helps. It helps to understand and put things in perspective. So using these two using these two resources, BMI and body fat percentage, hand in hand, what can really help you to have more objective information about your weight, and then you can go from there to make decisions. Okay. My friends, I had a few other points, but I think it's enough for tonight. I think we had a wonderful conversation, and I don't want to keep you here all night. I appreciate you so very much. Let me look at a couple more comments before we get out of here. This has been so much fun. I can stay longer, I can, but I know that people need to go get to bed. We have things to do. So, I want to be mindful of that because this is too much fun. What do you all like to do physical? What do all of you like physical about yourself? Oh no, we already talked about that. Sorry. I'm behind. Um, People going to bed. Good night. Good night. Good night. Good night. To sum up, Yuri's type 25, 35 years old female into fitness with some curves. No long distance relationship. Apply on Instagram. Wow. That's quite the summary, Kaya. Um, and listen, by the way, eh, fitness, like, I'll be completely honest with you. There seem to be not causation, but correlation to a nice body type on the female and bitchy personality. And I don't know what it is. And I'm not going to say it happens all the time, but it happens very often. I think there's a certain level of entitlement. Okay. I cannot deal with beachy personality. Beachy. Beachy. I cannot deal with that. You know? I cannot deal with that. So if that means I don't, my point being, it doesn't have to be this mold, right? This type of the person. It just, my thing is, yes, I would like to find a balanced person who has, who I'm attracted to physically, but who is certainly kind person, considerate person, has good personality to be around. Balance more important than any one thing, right? If you don't take care of yourself, but you have wonderful personality, obviously not the best thing, right, in the world. If you have wonderful body and you take care of yourself, but you have shitty personality, not great, you know. So the idea is find something in the middle. I don't expect it to be like what happens. I think with beautiful people both ways is just they've been told they're beautiful so much they don't have to work for anything and they can treat other people like shit, right? And if that happens, it's an immediate turn off. Just can't do it. Just can't do it. Has to be a reasonable individual. I might not be around tomorrow, but it's been fun. Thank you so much for hanging out, Gori Gal. Appreciate you. Pushkin was an amazing poet. I'm looking forward to hearing it in Russian instead of translated. Yes, indeed. Я вас любил. It's a wonderful poem. Hope you can read it. Good. Thank you for suggestion. Let me screenshot it real quick. I'm gonna screenshot this really quickly. Boom. Yes. Have a great night. Thank you. Thank you for your thorough answers. I like getting your opinion and insight from a male perspective. Thank you so much, B. I appreciate it. Thank you for being here. Looks like we have a few more comments. There's so many comments. I love this. Goodness, that's amazing. I like the answer. I can lose weight, but you are stuck with that personality. Yeah, personality is important. Please don't disregard it. That's important. Very important. Fee, how are you? Good morning. Welcome. I'm glad that you joined. Good morning. It's never okay to treat others like shit. I agree. Kaya, you didn't upset me. What are you talking about? You didn't upset me at all. There was a cool there was a cool what do you call it? Cool sum up part. I mean, it would not be, in all honesty, it's not bad, you know? It's not bad. I'll take it. I'll take it. Uh Maybe I didn't do a good job communicating, saying that either one, if you leaning heavy on one but not the other, um it just makes it more difficult. I think balance is the word we're looking for here, you know? So that's what I was trying to communicate. My friends, oh, I'm doing well. We're doing great, I think. We have some amazing people here tonight. Um, Speaking of which, let me recognize you really quickly and thank you before we get out of here. I cannot keep it under 1 hour for the life of me. I'm going to stop complaining about it and just let it be. I know these things end up being long, but time flies when you're having fun. Before we get out of here, tomorrow live stream, live show, Russian poetry, 9 p.m. Eastern. I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to read Russian to you. It's going to be great. If you have some requests, please send it. Feel free to connect on Instagram. Please free to connect on Twitter as well, or shoot me an email, russianprototype@gmail.com. I want to thank every person for their donations. I want to remind everyone that you can support the channel by super stickers and super chats while we're going live, which few people did today, which I'm super grateful for. Or you can do it through paypal.me /Russian prototype. I want to remind everyone that every single dollar, every single cent received is going to be used for improvement of this channel, for looking to create better content, to deliver more value to every single one of you. With that being said, I want to acknowledge some people. Kaya, thank you so much for coming on, being a live guest tonight. I thoroughly enjoyed our conversation. It was great to have you. Thank you so much for your kind donations and your support. That means the world to me. Fee, thank you so much for being here so early in the day. I hope you have an incredible day right where you at. Okay, thank you for hanging out. Kaya again. So, Jamie, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all the comments and for your incredible engagement. Thank you for food suggestions. I love kimchi. I love South Korean food. And actually, my dream, the blog that I did, the dream that I saw last night was about South Korea. So, side note, Strong Ballerina, thank you for hanging out. Thank you for speaking Russian. Thank you for always lighting up the chat room. I appreciate you. Heather, thank you for being here. Uh, I feel like you know, you just a vet. You just a vet. You've been with me for so long, and it's so cool. It's just so cool. I know that we connected on a couple of live streams in person, and we've connected before through the lunch lives, and it's always great to have your perspective. It's always awesome to see you here. So thank you for being here. Becky, thank you for hanging out. So cool to have you. Um, Thank you for being such an active um, member of the community. I really appreciate you. B, thank you for stopping by. Thank you for your thoughts. Appreciate you. It's super happy to see you. Godi Gal, thank you for being here. So cool to see you interact with the community. It's great time. Super thankful to you for your support it means the world to me. I hope to see you soon. You said you're not going to be able to make it tomorrow, but I hope to see you soon. Thank you for being here. Cheyenne, um, thank you for hanging out. Appreciate you very much. I love the fact that you open up about so many things and share it so openly. And I know some of these things not easy to talk about, like you were sharing things about your family, whatnot. So always great to see you. Brian, how my Brazilian friend, thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing. Um, please say your mama said hello. I know she's a very kind lady. Um, thank you for always being kind and inviting me to come to Brazil. I appreciate that. Um, B, I like you too. Thank you very much for being here and for hanging out. It's a pleasure, pleasure to have you. And we had some amazing people earlier on as well. I think we had Summer Dream. Summer Dream been a subscriber for a long time. She also did some amazing suggestions previously. Summer Dream, I actually still have some of your suggestions. I screenshot them. I didn't forget them. I had a plan to make some of these videos, and I still might. So I just want you to know that I still have your suggestions. I didn't forget them. It's very hard to get to all the suggestions for the videos because there are so many of them. The more subscribers you get, the more suggestions you get. Um, but I want to tell you that I didn't forget about them, and I'm thankful for them. I think Joe was here earlier, so thank you for your kind words and thank you for hanging out as well. Appreciate you. And I don't know if I can scroll. Estrella was here earlier. Thank you for being here. D was here earlier. Some awesome people were here, and a lot of awesome people are still here. Make it for such a great and meaningful conversation. And I can't scroll high enough, but I also wanted to give a shout out to Professor Nez for joining the live stream. It was a very pleasant surprise, and for supporting the channel. That was really great. Super humbled by that. With that, my friends, I hope you got some value out of this. I hope the actual BMI stuff and you know the baseline for data for body fat percentage. I hope that those things are helpful. I hope that you can always start from within and listen to your intuition, determine what it is that you want to be and how you want to navigate through life, as opposed to just listening to the outside noise first. Always starting from within. Um, if I knew that when I was 20, I probably could have reduced or avoid like quite a few mistakes. But I also realized some of the mistakes is just part of life. So I'm trying to pass as much wisdom as I can. I'm trying to share as much of it as humanly possible, just to bring value to all of you. With that, that's been awesome. That's been awesome tonight. I'll be seeing you tomorrow. Have a great Friday, okay? Have a great Friday. Have a great day. Great day. Great. Cray. Don't go cray. Do great. All right. Um, it's almost weekend. Have a wonderful day. Be healthy. Be strong. Be optimistic. Be joyful. And most importantly, be grateful. Prototype family. We out.